Hi everyone! My name is Miss H and I'm a teacher at Glen Lee Elementary School. I'm here to talk to you about nonfiction text features. First, we know that nonfiction texts are texts that provide information, explain a process, or persuade the reader to do something or feel a certain way. While the text is providing us with information, authors use text features to enhance their writing. Each text feature serves its own purpose. Let's review what a few important text features are. First, we need to know that text features are visual pieces that help to organize the information. One way that authors use visuals to help the reader gain understanding is through the type of print. The author may print the text with bold or italicized words. Bold words are deeper, darker, and used to point out important words that you may need a definition for. The words that are bolded are often found in a glossary. Italicized words, or words that are written in italics, are slanted text. Authors often use italics to show that a word is important or to emphasize a word. Emphasize means to draw attention to something. Bold words and italicized words are both used to make the reader pay attention to a certain word or phrase. Then we have what we call labels. Labels are used in diagrams, photographs, and illustrations to describe different parts of a picture. Here, the picture has labels to help the reader understand what each part is called. Another common feature that we see is a caption. A caption explains what a photograph or illustration is about. Here, you can see that we have a picture of a brain. The caption explains that it's the side view of a brain. It says, this is a side view of a human brain. Without that caption, somebody could mistake this picture to be the front or back of a brain. The details given in a caption can be very important for the reader to understand what is actually taking place in that picture. Now let's talk about titles, headings, and subheadings. A title tells the reader what the text will be about. The title of this book is Cool Filled Cupcakes. I can tell that this book is probably going to be about baking and recipes. Once I open this book to start reading, I find headings and subheadings. Look at page 6 as an example. A heading is a lot like a title, but it's for smaller sections of the text. It's used to organize the text and explain what a certain part of the reading is about. The main heading on page 6 says, The Basics. I can guess that this page will be about the basics of baking cupcakes. But under the Basics heading, I see that there are other smaller headings. These are called subheadings. The prefix sub means under or beneath, so a subheading is under or beneath a main heading. Subheadings are used to even further organize the text. Now the author breaks down the basics into asking permission, being prepared, and being neat and clean. If I had never read this book before and I was looking for information about how to get prepared to make cupcakes, I could easily use the headings and subheadings to help me locate that information. In addition to the way that authors organize their text or the types of print that they use, authors may also use graphics to help convey meaning. Graphics are just a visual feature that are used in nonfiction such as charts, graphs, diagrams, timelines, maps. You may see a variety of these things, but they are meant to strengthen your understanding of the information by giving you a visual picture to look at. Two graphics that often are confused are photographs and illustrations. Photographs are taken with the camera, but illustrations are drawn by an artist. Can you see the difference between the two? Now that you're able to identify the different types of text features, we need to be prepared to read nonfiction text and understand the purpose of those features. Sometimes the text features are just as important as the words. To demonstrate just how important they are, we're going to start by reading a section from the book Animals of the Rainforest by Dana Sedan. I pulled just the words from pages 6 through 9 so that we can understand what the text is about before we even look at the text features. So let's read this together. What's a rainforest? Almost all rainforests are found near the equator. The equator is an imaginary line around the center of the Earth. Places near the equator have warm weather all year round. The world's largest areas of rainforest are in Central and South America. Rainforests can also be found in Asia, Africa, and Australia. The Amazon rainforest in Brazil is the largest. It's almost as big as Australia. Here, the author is talking about where the largest areas of rainforest are located. However, I'm not sure that I know where Brazil is. I would need to look at a map to better understand this. The Amazon rainforest is located along both sides of the mighty Amazon River. The forest covers an enormous area of Brazil and stretches into other countries. There are 4 main layers of plants within a rainforest. Starting from the top down, they are the emergent layer, the canopy, the understory, and the forest floor. Each layer is home to a huge number of living creatures. The emergent layer has the tallest trees, some standing as high as 200 feet. Many birds live in this high, sunny layer. Most rainforest life is found in the canopy layer. This can be 100 to 150 feet above the ground. The canopy is like a huge platform covered with leaves, moss, and flowering plants called epiphytes. The canopy has hundreds of types of birds, insects, reptiles, and mammals. Some live in the high trees year-round, never touching the ground. Now the author has started talking about different parts and layers of a rainforest. It would be really helpful if we knew what this looked like. Now that we've finished reading the text, let's see how text features can help us better understand information. I've opened the book to page 6. When I first look at this page, I see a lot of different information. I see a map, a picture, captions, and the text. I need to make a plan to make sure that I read all of this without missing any important information. One strategy that we can use to do this is called Don't Skip It. The strategy helps us to make sure that we do not skip any information. As we grow as readers, we start to make our own decisions about the ways that we read. But we want to make sure that we're successful. Some questions that we might ask when we use this strategy are, where will you start? You start at the top, the side, with the pictures. How can you make sure that you read and look at every single thing? So if you were reading this independently, where would you start? Some of you may say that you would read this all in order, starting at the top. You may start at the top, read the caption, and look at the map, and then make your way over to the right side. And some of you may look at the images and read the captions first. Whatever choices you make sure you don't skip anything. I'm going to look at the left side first, starting with the text, and then the captions, and look at the map. Then I'm going to make my way down the right side from top to bottom, looking at the picture, reading the captions, and then reading the text. Almost all rainforests are found near the equator. I can see here that the word equator is bolded. The text is a lot darker and bigger than the rest of the text around it. Usually when words are bolded, that means I can find the definition in the glossary. If I flip to the back of the book to find the glossary, I will also find the bold words listed there. If I look down, I see equator, an imaginary line around the middle of the earth. The equator is an imaginary line around the center of the earth. Places near the equator have warm weather all year round. The world's largest areas of rainforest are in Central and South America. Rainforests can also be found in Asia, Africa, and Australia. The Amazon rainforest in Brazil is the largest. It's almost as big as Australia. So let's look at this map. What are we learning from the map? The caption says rainforests, which are dark green, cover about 6% or 6 of every 100 square miles of Earth's land surface. The text tells us that the largest areas of rainforest are in Central and South America. If I look at the map, I can see that the key says rainforest of the world are highlighted in green. The areas of Central and South America have big areas of highlighted in green. The map also shows me that there are other areas with major rainforest. Let's look on the next page. The first thing on the top of page 7 is a photograph. What are we learning from this photograph? I see a wide range of deep green treetops. They look like they go on for a really long ways. I should probably check the caption to see what the author wants me to know about it. The caption says, "This photo is just a tiny part of the Amazon rainforest that runs through Peru." Wow, if this is just a tiny part, I can't imagine how huge the Amazon rainforest is. This picture really helps me to understand how large it really is. Now that I've turned to a new page, I need to make a new plan for reading. Let's use our Don't Skip It strategy. I'm going to start at the top again and first look at the diagram. Then I'm going to read the captions and the text before going over to the other side of page 9. When I get to page 9, I'll start at the top and work my way down to the photograph. Let's look at this diagram. What else are you learning from the diagram? When I look at the diagram, I see that it's showing me 4 different sections of trees. The labels show me what each section is called. This helps me visualize what the text is telling me about the 4 layers. Then the caption tells me, think of the rainforest as an apartment building. Each floor is home to different kinds of animals. This really helps me to understand that each level of the rainforest has its own function and its own set of animals that live there. Then there's the light bulb, which is similar to a fact box, telling us that the rainforest understory is sometimes called the lower canopy. This helps us to understand that the understory has 2 names. Now, since we've already read this text, I'm not going to read it all again. Just remember that it's telling us about the different layers. The photograph here is of a frog. The caption tells me that some animals of the rainforest, such as this green tree frog, have the brightest colorings in the animal world. This is a fact that I would not have known without the photograph and the caption. Now that we've read the text by itself and the text with text features, we can see how important text features are. The text features provided us with details that the text alone did not. The map helped us see where rainforests were all over the world and where the largest rainforests are. The diagram of the layers gave us a visual for where different animals live and how the layers are all at different heights. The photograph of the frog gave us a colorful example of how rainforest animals have some of the brightest colorings in the world. The author carefully chose specific features to give the reader more information about the topic. As readers, we need to make sure that we understand the purpose of text features and how to utilize them in our reading. We also need to make sure that we have a plan for reading so that we don't miss out on any pertinent information. Thanks for listening!